In this video, we're going to look at drawing number 3 and see how to make this part in SolidWorks. If we look at this drawing, we see that it's 3.5 inches wide, 1.25 inches deep, 2.5 inches tall if we include the 1/2 inch tall base. There are several ways that we could do this, but let's take a look at how one way might go. So I'm going to go into SolidWorks, pick a sketch, and again I'm going to pick the top plane. And on my top plane I'm going to put a center rectangle, and I'm going to dimension this 3.5 by 1.25. Green check, exit the sketch. Now I want to make this into a feature, and the feature, let me pan this down some, the feature is going to be 2.5 inches tall. Right like that. So that's a pretty good sized block. Green check, and now we have our base of this project. Now you can look at this as being a sculptor, where now we're just going to start cutting away from this. So I'm going to spin this around and look at it from the front view, and I'm going to go sketch, and I'm going to select this surface, and I'm going to put a center line right up the front of this object. Now center lines are not recognized as being part of the object in SolidWorks, so it's just for reference. I'm going to use this so I can use a tool called Dynamic Mirror. The way I'm going to do that is click on Tools, Sketch Tools, and then Dynamic Mirror, and it prompts me, it says what am I going to mirror about, and I'm going to mirror about this line. So I click on that line, then I'm going to go pick a line and just start up here in the corner, left click, left click, left click, left click, and just make a rectangle. Guess I could have used corner rectangle just as easily. And make a sketch. I'm going to smart dimension it. This is going to be 2 inches. And this is going to be 0.75. Then I can green check, exit the sketch, go Control 7 so we can see what's going to happen. Go to Features, make an extrude cut, go through all, and cut away those pieces. Now let's look at it from the front again. I also need to cut a piece. If you look at the drawing, I need to cut out a piece here, and I need to cut out a piece down here. So again, we can use sketch, this surface, and this time center rectangle. Line up in the center, pull out a rectangle. Let me pan this up a little. I'm going to smart dimension this so that this is 1.25. I was very close. And the height is going to be 1.5 total, because we're cutting into it 0.75. So then green check, exit the sketch, Control 7 lets me see what's going to happen. Go to Features, make an extrude cut. Again, we're going to go all the way through, just like that. And now we have another cut right up in here. So we'll spin it around again. Go to Sketch, this surface, again center rectangle, and we're going to click the center up here, bring out a rectangle, Smart Dimension, this dimension is going to be 1, and this dimension will be 0.5, which it already is. Green check, exit the sketch, Control 7, again an extrude cut, and we go all the way through just like that. So now we have the basic shape of this object. Now if you notice right here, this has a radius on the top, and that radius is 1.5 inches. So the way to do that, or a way to do that, would be like this. I'm going to look at it from the right side view, and I'm going to use a sketch on this surface. I'm going to use a center line, and I'm going to come from the top, right in the middle, down. I'm going to Smart Dimension this line 1.5 inches, and now I've got a center for my circle. So I pick Circle, click on this, and now I've got my sketch. Exit the sketch, go Control 7 so I can see what's going to happen. And this is going to be an extrude cut also, but a little bit different. This one's going to have a twist. I'm going to take that on through, and if you look at this, you see this little edges sticking up. It starts on this surface right here, so none of this is incorporated, but you see these little edges sticking out. Well, if we were to do it like we normally have been doing it, then here's what would happen. And that's really not what we want. What we want is to round off the top edge of these blocks. So what we're going to do is check this box where it says flip side to cut, and then we're going to make the cut, and it rounds off to the diameter that we wanted, or to the radius that we wanted. Okay, now we're going to go to right side view again, sketch, and in this case I'm going to select this surface, again pick a center line. This time I'm coming from the bottom in the middle, select, Smart Dimensioning this line so that it's 1.5, and now I know where to put the hole right here. If we look at the drawing, there's a hole right there that has a diameter of 0.5, and it's 1.5 inches up, which is why I put the center line there. So we go back into SolidWorks, select Circle, and we're going to Smart Dimension that to 0.5. Green check, exit the sketch, go Control 7, and now we're going to see this cut through the part. So we're going to go to Features, Extrude Cut, and we can watch it go all the way through. Now it's on 3.4 inches, which even though it's blind, that's why it's cutting all the way through. If we go to Through All, you see how it's going to cut through. Then we just go green check, and we get the holes all the way through the part. Now, we started out on the top plane. Now, if you look at the top plane, even though you're drawing on the top plane, it's actually underneath the object. like that. And this next sketch that we want to do, we want to draw on the top plane. So I'm going to expand that out just a little bit. And I'm going to select Sketch and click on the top plane. And again, I'm going to use a center line. Select. And I'm using center line because now I want to use Tools, Sketch Tools, and Dynamic Mirror right here. And I'm going to mirror about, it's asking me what I'm going to mirror about. I'm going to mirror about this line. And I'm going to pick a hole, a circle, and I'm going to line up with the center with that vector that comes out, and just left click and drag out a circle. And you can see how it goes to both sides because I'm using Dynamic Mirror. I'm going to dimension that. If we look on the drawing, it's got a diameter of 0.375. So I'm going to type in 0.375. It's going to round it up because we didn't change our decimals. So it rounds up to 3/8. And we're going to smart dimension this. It should be 0.375 from the edge, and it is 0.38. So we'll go like that, and we're in the center because I used the vector coming off of that center point. So green check, exit sketch, again Control 7. Now because we're on the top plane, which is underneath the object, we're going to have to look at how this feature is going to be cut. So we go to Features, Extrude Cut, and it's aiming down, so we click in this little box where we reverse that, and now they're coming up again through all, green check, and we have the holes. Now the last thing to do to complete this part is to chamfer the two corners. What I'm going to chamfer is this edge and this edge. So we go up into Features, we go over to Fillet, and go to the drop down menu to chamfer. If we look at the drawing, we see that it's 0.30 and it's on a 45-degree angle. So make sure that you type in 0.30 inches, 45 degrees, and we're going to click on this edge and this edge, green check, and that will complete this part. Now in the next video, what we're going to do is create a drawing file for this part. So stay tuned.